Hey, good morning, Lucas. This is going to be a quick demo video for you for your Warhammer 40K custom KR Sabers Regis, etched and painted by Carl over at Volts of Valhalla and installed with a Proffie V3. Alright, so we're going to go over my desk. We'll take a look at this. I'll show you what I did and get this out in the mail to you today. Thanks, man. Alright, Lucas, we've got your Regis here. You had Carl over at Volts of Valhalla do a Warhammer 40K theme. I am admittedly not very familiar with that franchise. However, I can still take a look at this saber and just admire the detailing. So I wanted to show that off real quick. All the way around. This is just a beautiful saber. It is a 2-button setup. So your main switch, or your red one, your red switch up here, that's going to be your power. Little guy down here, 180 degrees from it, that is going to be your auxiliary. All right, you've got a KR Sabers lit PCB in there, so this will light up, and it has lots of LEDs on that even when there's a blade not in it. All right, so to get to your chassis, what you want to do is come over here and unscrew this pommel section. This is the only place on the saber that opens. Put this off to the side and go like this, and your chassis will fall out into your hand. All right, so this is what I came up with for your chassis. Let's bring the saber over here so you can see this. All right, I liked the checkerboard pattern over here on the actual saber, so I tried to carry that through over here. And then you had a quote right here. It says, "I accept any challenge, no matter the odds." All right, so if you look over here, it says, "I accept any challenge," and then it says, "no matter the odds," over here on the chassis. I did a little bit of chains, slightly different than what was etched on the saber over here, and just a few greeblies here and there. All right, you've got a 22mm Smuggler's Outpost Nano Elite speaker, fully enclosed, so it sounds really good. A removable battery setup. It says Solo Sabers over here for me in Arabic, and then in English it says Volts of Valhalla for Carl. All right. A removable battery spring side for the negative side of your battery, and I did include a battery in your kit. So this is an 18650 Keep Power battery. It fits right in there. All right, Proffie V3. Just gave you a little skull and crossbones. I did look up some different types of art for Warhammer. Came across this. I thought it would look pretty cool in that section, so that's what I put there. Your Proffie V3 is at an angle here, so easy to get to your SD card and your micro USB. You don't have to move the board. There is a copy of the config file on your SD card, and I got your sound fonts on there with the blade colors. All right, kill switch right here. We're using a Smuggler's Outpost switch pixel PCB set. So if you look in there, it's a little hard to see down in there, but there's a 14-pin PCB that never comes out of there. It's actually locked in by screwing down this main switch. When you screw that in, that's how I locked in that chassis section. All right, normally I would say you could put this chassis in however you like, put it in however you like and just throw it in. Not the case on this particular saber. It's hard to see. In fact, it's impossible to see there, but there's a screw sticking into the ID of the handle here and another one right here. All right, I accounted for that a little bit by putting a groove in the chassis right here and another groove right here. So we'll flip this on real quick. The easiest way to make sure that you're going to put this in the saber correctly and catch those two screws in the chassis, is either line up your board straight with your power switch, or you could either line up your board straight with your auxiliary switch. So if we just held it straight in like this, push it in with a little bit of practice, you'll get it every time. If it made it in that far, that means you got it. All right, let me take the chassis out and show you if you didn't get it. If you were misaligned, it would only go in that far. All right, so again, just line up your board with either one of those switches. You should get it right off the bat. All right, we're gonna come over here. We're gonna put our pommel on, screw it down tight, come over here and hit power. Auxiliary. Just tap it to turn it off. I'm not going to use the blade retention for this video, but your blade retention tool or your blade retention is going to be a little grub screw that's in here. It's going to be in your kit. It's not currently in the Saber. I didn't want to put it in there and risk messing up any of the paint, so we're just going to hold the blade in for now. You will need a 1-inch diameter Neopixel blade. All right, so this particular font is red. It is set up for a full-length blade. This is just my test blade. All right, to go to the next font, tap auxiliary. This blade is purple, so hopefully you can see that on my hand and on my mat here. Pretty extensive. Most of these are from Jadalorian. Next font. This was a yellow one. Now you would ask if gray blade was possible. It's not possible to do that on Neopixel, but what I gave you was silver, and hopefully silver is close enough to what you were looking for there. And then we're back to the beginning, which is red. All right, just like that. So when we're done, we'll come over here and we'll take our blade out, come over here, loosen our chassis. But before we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the Saber on. All right, we'll loosen our chassis up. The reason I'm taking this chassis out while it's on is just to show you that we can come over here from the kill switch and kill the power just like that. All right, and then when you're done and you want to take the battery out, do it from the positive side over here by your board. All right, so that is basically how you work this Regis. Let me know if you have any questions or if everything makes sense to you. And it's my intention to package this up and get it out in the mail to you today. Thanks, man.